woke. I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
It looks like Chuck's taking the skin boat to Tuna Town.
You look goofy.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
5 minutes later.
Do you wanna take a life? Do you wanna cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
Now, what I've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
Hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
He's still hunting. He's still hunting. Oh, wait. Whoa. Hey, look at this beautiful office. You see the zoom out effect? Hello, everybody. I forgot to zoom it in, but like, let's marvel at this for a little bit because let's be real. I put a lot of fucking work into it. Okay. Oh my God. Still have doggy treats in my pocket. I'm holding out on Remy. She's going to be pissed. Okay. So I'm almost ready to do a full room tour. There is 5 or 6 spots on the ceiling I haven't, and I'm not joking, I haven't covered up yet. And once that happens, which could be tonight, then within the next 48 hours, we'll do a full video. I don't know if I could do a live streaming or not, but yeah, we'll figure out something. But yes, this is the majesty of the walls of wonder. This is just one wall. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then if we're counting the bathroom, because yes, there's stuff hanging up in the bathroom, 8, 9, 10, about 10 or 11. Yeah, it's all business expense. Damn straight. It's on camera. I can write this shit off. So yeah, there it is. But now we're going to zoom in. But you can see like stuff you normally can't see. Like there's God damn it. I'm so Cap right there. And then there's Blade. And then there's Anime Cap. Then there's Az. Then there's the Hulk. There's Metacom Punisher. And we got Spock, who's now famous, more famous than me. Yeah, fun stuff, but we're going to zoom in on. Sorry. I know it's very disappointing. I hope it's insured. Collectibles are very difficult to insure. I know there's collectible insurance out there. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. If you go try to collect on your $1 million comic collection that gets destroyed in a house fire from your collectible insurance, I'm going to say good luck. Good luck. Most insurance is bullshit. I have it all categorized and it's documented, and it still wouldn't matter, right? Because the best they would do for you, if they did anything at all, is what you paid for it initially, or what the MSRP was. So outside of like, you'd have to prove you had it. It would be such a nightmare. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but with your collectibles insurance, that's some horseshit. Like, I wouldn't buy that. I know I'm probably going to make some people mad who sell that on the floors of the Comic-Con, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Hi, everybody. Swig of Topo Chico for the working man and woman out there. We are here to do a square up of Friday Night Tights and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We have some left over. I think we have like 34 left over from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and we will get to them all. And if we just talk about Night of the Seven Kingdoms for the rest of the fucking week, I am happy. I'm a happy camper. Happy camper. Let's see who's here. Josh Hammond, Mark Lorzeth, Mir DV, Tito Benito, Deems, Don. Oh, fuck. Don't call me, but I started it with Don. Oh my God. Eric K. Mod, hello. Dave Breen, Steel Foil Hat, Surface, WG, Irish Jedi, Corey Wilson, Greg, is it Koenig? Sorry, Greg. Dragon Sworn, Monkey Jeebus, Snow Blackheart, definitely not a gator. Oh, you say Blackheart. I know it's not Snow Blackheart, but I was discussing it with my son and his friends. We were breaking down how cool of a villain Blackheart is. Fucking great villain. Sunday WES, Nasty Fripples. What's up? Ryan, Little Jim's Halo. And yes, I am aware that apparently my edit within StreamYards didn't work last night, and our live stream last night has been saying episode 7 hasn't affected the views. Maybe it's helped. I don't know, but I finally fixed it because Ryan had to call me. None of the people I work with noticed, but I didn't either. It was fucking Ryan who had to tell me. To be fair, I've had to text Ryan, and actually we've all had to text each other once or twice going, you fucked up the title. What's up, Lagmaster? What is up? Psychotic Mongoose. Yeah. Yes. John Thomas. Tulsa King season 3 is out. Season 4 will be out in a few months. Pretty excited about it. Landman and Night of the Seven Kingdoms kind of made the end of the year for me. And Frankenstein. There was like some stuff I really enjoyed towards the end. But let's be real, 2025 was shit for entertainment, like especially for movies. And shocking news today. AMC stock took a shit. And I want to just, listen, I don't like toot my own horn. I'm not the only one saying this shit, but I'm going to do it. Who's been saying all year that you can't have these giant deserts of no tent poles, and when the tent poles come out, they're mostly sloppy and shit. And you can't, they're there will be repercussions. There will also be repercussions of pissing off half the country who now Hollywood needs desperately, but they will not swallow their pride. Oh, it's beyond pride, by the way, to get them back. And now the first domino has fallen, and it is this AMC stock. And these idiots will come out in a couple of months. We'll have a hit movie that, does $800 million, $1 billion. And they go, we're back, baby. Hollywood's back. Theaters are back. They're not back. They're fucked. For theaters to get back, they need 5 years in a row of 2019s. 5 years in a row of 2019s, which they're not going to get. But the first hit movie will be, we're back. There hasn't, I don't know who can do the math on this. Has there been a movie to go over, not Avatar, released this year to go over $300 million worldwide? There might have been. I think maybe Wuthering Heights is doing good. There's a couple other movies out there that are doing okay. Well, that's last year. I'm talking about that's been released in 2026, which we are 2 months into. And we haven't, I don't think we've had a movie that hit 500 million. Right? So yeah, they're kind of in trouble. We're going to talk about that. We're going to discuss the N-word that was spoken at the BAFTAs, which is a case of a virtue signal gone wrong, and you just hate to see it. You just hate to see it. We actually talked about it on our, it's so funny. We're reviewing United Seven Kingdoms and that comes up. We watched the video. Freaking AJ from the Y-Files is in the chat. And he's all, play it again, but slower. Oh, there's an article that's too long that I'll just summarize. I'll show you one graphic from the Hollywood Reporter. Didn't I tell you we get one of these every couple months now? The slow motion eulogy for the TV industry. That's the title of the article. AMC Theaters grapples with nearly 10% attendance drop in, hang on, let's go in latest quarter. That's just latest quarter. So that's a 10% drop from shit. They're not talking about quarter to quarter. And I guess Avatar didn't save the year. X-Files is getting fucking rebooted. The Malcolm X-Files. So yeah, we'll you know what? I made a video back in November with that title. With that very title. I think I'm going to have to make it a series at this point. So look for part 2 in March. Look for part 2 in March. But first, I got to take care of a little business. My wife was nice enough to print this out so I can, I don't know, I'm going to read it gooder. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we're going to try. It's Rumble Wallet, everybody, for the Rumblers. For the Rumblers, because we're dual streaming today. You may, I'm trying to figure out where to start. Okay. You may have seen the conversations happening online lately. Censorship is back and it's happening everywhere. Platforms are controlling narratives and pushing the stuff they want us to see. We need to fight back. Rumble is the only company that has stood the test of time and deserves your support. On one side, Rumble is challenging big tech censorship. But now on the other side, they have introduced something that will give us protection from the big banks shutting us off, which they did. Let's not forget the Canadian truckers. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen, those Canadian truckers. And they shut their bank accounts down. Man, all the people crying about Jimmy Kimmel. You didn't hear him crying about human beings getting their bank accounts getting shut down. Strange, isn't it? Banks can cancel our accounts and freeze our cards. So that's why they launched Rumble Wallet, a wallet that no one can cancel and a wallet that supporters can use to instantly tip creators like Geeks and Gamers and Geeks and Gamers, like without a middleman taking cuts. With Rumble Wallet, you control your money, not a bank, not a government, not a tech company, not even Rumble can touch it. It's yours, only yours to protect your future and family, and future too. You can buy and save digital assets like Bitcoin and Tether Gold in one place. Tether Gold is real gold on the blockchain with ownership of physical gold bars. That's that kind of rad. I want to do that. It's not only a wallet to buy and save, but it also allows you to support your favorite creators like Geeks and Gamers by easily tipping them with the click of one button. There will be no fees when you tip my channel or Geeks and Gamers, and we actually receive the tip instantly, unlike other platforms where we have to wait for payouts, like YouTube. Support my show and other creators like Geeks and Gamers by clicking the tip button on my Rumble channel. It's wallet.rumble.com. Download Rumble Wallet, open an account, and step away from the big banks for good. Wallet.rumble.com or search Rumble Wallet on your favorite app store. There you go. I like gold. I do. And comic books. Someday we'll be able to trade in comic books. I fear for the future that Gundam has probably correctly predicted, which is we'll be trading in VHS porn. But, I hope that day does not come. I hope that day does not come. All right, let's start with, let's get this business censor clip. Do we have the non-censor clip? Why do we have the censored clip? I'm going to have to find the non-censor clip. Hang on. Let's see. I see Robert Armero crying. Dom Lucre, does he have it? Hang on. I'll let you. Oh, Dom Lucre puts the words on the video. Well, see, I can't use that. All right, hang on. Maybe this is it. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, that's it. All right, you can barely hear it. Hang on. Hang on a second, sorry. Why'd they bleep out the... Here, I'll bleep it out myself. I'll bleep it out myself. Un momento, por favor. There we go. Do I have my beep ready to go? Hang on. There we go. You. Let's hope I get it right. Let's hope I get it right. All right, so to set this up, there's these things called the BAFTAs in the UK. They are basically the Academy Awards for the UK, but they mix in TV, so they're a bit like the Golden Globes, but they're big awards. And like all award shows, they love to virtue signal. So there is a documentary featuring Robert Armao, who was young Ned Stark in Game of Thrones, and he also plays Elrond in The Rings of Power. He's in a document or movie, TV, biopic, whatever, of a guy with Tourette's. I know nothing about it. And it was meant to bring awareness to Tourette's syndrome. So to super virtue signal, they decided to let this guy, be in the audience because he will blurt out horrible things. But he doesn't mean to. It's part of his condition. It's part of his condition. Part of his condition. Hang on. There's one more thing I got to set up because we can't do this without talking about grace. Without talking about Grace. Who? Did Mike retweet Grace? Is it still up? Did she leave this tweet up? I can't see it now. Dang it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Did she take it down? I'll have to find it in a second. All right, here we go. So they bring this guy with I saw Epic Mike tweet it. I don't know if she deleted it or not. I definitely I'm pretty sure I bookmarked it too. Hang on. I can't imagine she would keep this up. But let's take a look. Hang on. I mean, it should be in research, but it's not there. There it is. She's coping. There it is. I got it. What a fucking retard. Okay, thank you for waiting. Here we go. So they bring this guy with Tourette's to the BAFTAs, and we have Michael B. Jordan up there, and this is what happens. I'm going to have to be quick with my beep.
Daryl and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
There we go. I think I was pretty good with that.
Celebrate. Daryl and I are
There's been a meltdown. There's been a meltdown on Twitter. Ryan talked about it last night, and I think he made the best point. The man has a condition. He can't help it. He didn't, there was nothing behind it. It is just a word. And I would argue, being from the outside looking in, without knowing the experience at all, I feel like that community had made a lot of strides and taken that word back. But recently, thanks to Obama and a lot of other things, the divisiveness in this country has gotten crazier. And now that word has all the power that it used to have. And it's because people have given that word power. It might be a really hard thing to hear, right? But I mean, I think that's just pretty much what's going on. That word has a lot of power because people give it power. Words don't have power unless they give them power. But it's more like what Ryan said last night was you want to chill things. Essentially, I'm going to paraphrase. You want to chill things out. Don't overreact to it. Show some grace, show some understanding. And I've certainly seen some of that, but we've also seen a bunch of melting down, people asking for this guy this guy's going to have a rough time now, a rough time. He's going to get destroyed because there's idiots like Grace fucking Randolph. Grace Randolph, who is functionally retarded. So we got to give her a little grace. We got to give Grace a little grace. Dr. Grace Randolph with a PhD said Tourette's means no filter, which means the man thought it. Despicable. The BAFTAs out here making fools of themselves and the entertainment industry. Now, I'm not going to argue with the second part. I think they knew what they were getting into, and the BAFTAs, this is the uber champagne socialist progressive minded, doesn't ever think about consequences. They live in this little fucking fantasy world that doesn't exist. And something like this happens, so they don't think about, they're bending over backward for Michael B. Jordan. I'm sure that fucking sucked to hear. Okay, absolutely. But he powered through it. And you know what? Michael B. Jordan can hear that and go, I'm on the stage of the BAFTAs. I'm an actor at the top of my game. I'm winning awards. Because I grew up in America, I am an actor and a millionaire. A fucking millionaire. Life is pretty fucking good. And I bet you, I can't speak for him, but I bet you when he heard that guy had Tourette's, he's probably like, whatever. Now, a lot of this shit is performative, and people have to clutch their pearls and all that other fucking bullshit that they're going to do. But yes, the BAFTAs walked into this by doing a virtue signal gone wrong. A virtue signal gone wrong. And they knew something like this could happen. Whatever. It happened. But you want to make it worse? Start bitching about it. That'll make everything worse. That's not going to win anybody to any side. Period. End of story. And I think Ryan was 100% right about that one. Show some grace. Just go, it must be terrible. And it must be terrible to have that condition. It must be so isolating, right? Michael B. Jordan is fine. Okay? Now, I'm going to show some grace to Grace Randolph because I think she is retarded. She got community noted. It is crucial to understand that these words or complex phrases do not necessarily reflect the thoughts, beliefs, or opinions of the person with Tourette's. I don't know. Caporalalia? I don't know how to say it. See, Grace, watch. I'm retarded. I have trouble reading words like that. I'm retarded. You can do it too, Grace. Her cope. So, no matter how Tourette's works, that the BAFTAs subjected Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo to that is outrageous and shameful. This was handled so poorly. Footage is forever. And also this man, Davidson, will have to deal with the horrible fallout as well, especially with your first tweet, you fucking twat. Which said, and I quote, Tourette's means no filter, which means this man thought it. You too can make it on YouTube. Any retard can make it on YouTube. If Grace Randolph can make it, you can make it. Trust me. Yeah, these are the motherfuckers out there. It's despicable to say the MCU, and there's review bombing and hateful toxicity out there. And a guy with Tourette said the N-word. Lynch him. She is a bimbo American. Apparently, Grace is a doctor. Copralia? Is that what it has? It's Tourette's. I'm calling it Tourette's. Yeah, this might be a good week for Chrissy to come back as Grace so she can apologize. No, I mean, I guess credit to her for keeping the tweet up. But following that is so Grace to say, to show sympathy for a guy she just threw under the fucking bus. Along with a lot of black people out there who are complaining about this, and much more white people. Much more white people. When it's just an unfortunate thing that happened and it's all over the place and people are just, oh my God, my stars and garters. There's a skit out there that I can't make. I can't even suggest it. That would be funny as hell. That would be funny as hell. And that's what we got to we got to laugh at these things and not take them so seriously. Things are bad enough. Things are bad enough. That poor guy, I feel bad for that poor guy, man. He's like, this is it. This is my moment. I've led this isolated life with Tourette's and I'm getting awarded. The Knights of Knee. Poor guy. And anybody feeling sorry for millionaire Michael B. Jordan, who's out there slaying pussy left and right in his 50 cars because he's been successful and good for you. Don't. Okay, he's fine. And Delroy Lindo is a fucking legend. The guy's great. He's fine too. He's fine too, but oh boy. Can't wait for the Oscars. Can't wait for the Oscars. I do want to talk about this though. Because everybody's going to give their Monday morning quarterback on that. Sometimes virtue signals go wrong. That's, the only thing you should get mad at the BAFTAs over is, and listen, maybe the movie's great, but more often than not, I'm going to say separately, more often than not, when we get these bio pics of retarded people or whatever, the movies aren't that great, but they parade this guy out, or they parade said retard or deaf person out to congratulate themselves. That's the sickest thing of all. To convince each other that we're on the right side of history, we're such good people. Now, let's go to the post-show party where we praise Moloch and have a mock child sacrifice. Okay. And spirit cook. But we're such good people. So we'll go to this one. Yeah, they go to their cocktail parties and they walk around going, that was so amazing. You are so kind. I love you so much. That's how they fucking talk there. Moloch. Did I not say Moloch? I meant to say Moloch. Moloch. Their god Moloch. Giant owl. The misfits do rule. You're right. Did he do a great? Hang on. Let me look for that. I did see that somewhere. Alan Cumming. None of this is in research. Okay. I'll find it. Yeah, I don't see the explanation. If I run across it, I'll let you know. Dude, it stuck the landing. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms absolutely stuck the landing. Wasn't crazy about the jazz musical choice in the beginning. I don't mind 16 Tons at the end because I love that fucking song. And admittedly, I just don't like jazz. Never have, never will. I understand it's music for musicians and it's the technical science of playing, and it just sounds like gobbledygook going up and down fucking scales. It probably, you know what? It probably sounds great on heroin. But but the show was great. It was funny, it was heartfelt, and it really was something I think a lot of people needed. A simple little uplifting show, which had tragic events, but it's still, I don't know if you want to call it a throwback. I know it's a simple story as compared to other Game of Thrones stuff, but it really isn't. There's a lot of subtext and layering, and it's got rewatchability. It's the reason we started at 6 tonight, so I can go and rewatch the whole damn thing tonight to get prep for my review. But Mike, I fucking loved it. I watched it with Fringy last night and adored it. And I was like talking over the end before, so I missed with Fringy. I completely missed. It says A Night of the Nine Kingdoms at the end, which was awesome. I love that ending. Sir Arlen riding off to the left. I guess the most talked about thing is Egg took off without Makar's permission, which is a change from the books. So we'll see how that has repercussions. But when it happened, I laughed. I absolutely laughed. Was it like perfection? Time will tell on that one. I think it was definitely 8.5, 9 out of 10. I have minor criticisms, but like they're really fucking minor. And it was awesome talking for 6 weeks in a row about something we love that was just getting better. And I really liked that it had this like nice quiet ending, right? That was just nice. It was nice. It's a happy place, right? It's the first time like, oh, okay, I could live at Ashford Meadow in Westeros. Probably the only place I'd want to live. I mean, the Lord looks like an idiot, but he's not a tyrant, you know? Looks like he's got a competent son. His steward seems okay, you know? Sure, he tried to bribe Dunk, but I mean, you know, I'm not going to judge the man for that. And let's be real. They have some pretty good looking whores. They do. Not filled with pox and all this other stuff. No, it was tons of fun. I'm sad to see it go, but now you can binge it. And this is exactly why you release something weekly. Because it has been in the zeitgeist for 6 weeks, and it will be for a couple more. So that's 2 full months in the zeitgeist as opposed to 2 weeks. And that's if the show is popular. If the show is really fucking popular, and people will go, What about Stranger Things? Stranger Things is a 1 in a million. Is a 1 in a million. Let's go back to The Witcher season 1. Mike, that was pretty well received for the most part. A lot of people had criticisms, but it seemed like it was kind of a popular show. And I think this is a better comparison. How long were people talking about The Witcher? 2 weeks. I'll answer your question. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I think One Piece is an exception. I think people were talking about that for about a month, but a month is really stretching it. Like really stretching. Imagine if One Piece came out weekly. Holy shit. It would have been so much bigger. So the argument is, and it's a good one, it's a fair one. If the show's good, it doesn't matter. If the show's phenomenal, it doesn't matter. I would argue it does. I would argue that, well, if it was this popular, dumping it all at once, imagine how popular it would have been if you released it weekly. Imagine how many more eyes would have gotten on it and how much free advertising you would have gotten of it being in the cultural zeitgeist for a month and a half or 2 months. So that's money left on the table because you have this brand thing where you need to dump everything at once. It's fucking retarded and it's unsustainable. It's absolutely unsustainable. And you're starting to see Netflix go away from it. Say they get Warner Brothers and they drop House of the Dragon all at once. Like Game of Thrones isn't even structured that way, and people aren't in the habit of watching it that way. Am I out of sync? Am I out of sync? Hang on. I wonder why. It's good to you? Okay. I might have had too many windows open. What's up, Mikey? Yeah, I fucking love that episode so much, and we're going to talk about it a lot on Real BBC, and I'll be answering some questions here, obviously, because Mahler was sick last night. Poor Molly was sick. Poor Molly was sick. All right, one more thing I want to talk about before we get to the square up. But again, I would look forward to another in-depth a Night of the Seven Kingdoms discussion tomorrow with me as in Mahler. So I kind of want to save most of it for that because I'm really curious because I don't know what he thinks of the episode. But Fringy loved it. Shad loved it. Ryan loved it. Ryan had some decent criticisms, and particularly with the one with the end. So, and I completely agree with him. Like it was really funny, but they need to find a real clever way to fix that because there's a plot point in the next story that it matters. So make our giving him permission matters like a lot to the story. That's why people are talking about it. In the meantime, and you're only gonna have to wait a year. So in the meantime, highly recommend you go to Audible or a used bookstore or Half Price Books because fuck giving George money and find a copy of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and give it a read. It's really good. It's really fun. Or better yet, find the book and the graphic novel, but the graphic novel is really good. So, real quick, I wanted to show you a graph from this article that I'm going to probably save this one for me and Chris on the Nooner, right? Because this is kind of this is a big deal. So remember, some idiot in a spare bedroom has been mentioning that, you know, Hollywood's act over the last, let's be real, 10 years is going to have giant repercussions. and theaters are going to start closing. The other thing I said over and over again, and other people have said it too, is the audience is going to become your competition. And that started during COVID. During the streaming boom. Well, it was also a streaming boom on YouTube of, God, I think for a year I streamed almost every day. Almost every day. Hell, I do that now, but more than I do now. And looky here, a slow motion eulogy for the TV industry. Now in shorter supply, shows that involve real sets being built, staffed writers' rooms, series regulars, dozens of recurring guest roles, and attention spent on production value. I think another thing a lot of us said was the strike was going to exacerbate the problem. It is going to bring on your apocalypse. It is going to end things sooner. It is going to lead to mergers, layoffs, runaway production. And that's exactly what's happened. So let's just go down to this little graph. And it's long. This is long. It talks about that there's a little bit of a comeback of the pilot episode, but and you're going to hear a lot of that. The pilot episode is back. They're starting to order the pilot. Well, here's your graph. In 2019, this is how many pilot episodes they were ordering. And this is this big comeback. So it's not. It's just desperation and trying to figure things out. But the most important graph is this one. Where creative jobs are in California. New media is the only sector where employment has grown over the past 5 years compared to traditional Hollywood work categories. Well. How about dem apples? What's new media? YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, podcasting. And all those kids going to film school and art school to go get jobs in LA. Talking to the parents of those kids right now. Pull the plug. If they're gonna, if you can, send them to us. Like if there's some kind of technical school or a program like I went through, where it's an intensive, where you're not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars over years. You just spend, it's basically a quarter. And you spend like, I don't know, $8,000-9,000 on a digital video intensive, which basically honed my editing skills, which I was able to use later. And it was used to basically, train my style to the editors I have now who have evolved and improved it. That works, because if you're an editor right now in Hollywood and you're out of work, I'd start hitting up YouTubers. For one, you'll probably get paid better. But if you don't get paid better, you have a lot more freedom. You'll have a lot more freedom. So the only growth sector, new media. Look at that. It's all happening. Crazy. Those fucking chuds. AI will be editing soon. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it will. It's already is. So AI is already editing stuff, but yeah, there's still a human element to editing, knowing when the cut and why your cut exists, and so you can edit stuff in AI and like really commercial, like basic sterile stuff, but it's not editing anything comedic or anything soon. But for basic stuff, yes, you can absolutely get a commercial done in minutes, probably minutes. All right. And then I talked about the AMC theaters going down. Going down. But like, could I tell an AI, like, edit it, just edit my clips? Like, I feed it my recording clips, and it's like, edit my clips like Garrett does. It won't be able to. Not yet. Because a lot of our stuff is done on the fly, right? And yeah, it's difficult to explain. It's very, our whole process is you don't want to know how the sausage is made. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. All right, let me get to the square up part. I have the best DEI hires. What, are you fucking kidding me? I have the best diversity hires in the world. And my timeline is just absolutely filled with A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. And it's wonderful. I love it. So let's start there. We got some leftovers from last night. We will start there. J.H. Padilla for 20 Mexican dollars. Just bought the soundtrack on iTunes. Amazing. Yeah, I think the digital soundtrack is there. I want physical media for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. And the 4K was announced today. It'll be out June 15th. I'm all over it. Jacob Russell for $2 says, is the show worth watching on its own? Absolutely. You don't need to watch any Game of Thrones, and you're fine. The artist dad died the day he did the novel, said Gerard for $2. I don't know what that's referring to. Daneska for 10 euros says they should hire even more non-white actors since white people don't complain much. Their cultural heritage is being spat on with race quotas. They wouldn't dare do that with any other culture, though. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. And people do call it out. I mean, is it every single time? I think with all things, there has to be balance, right? All things, there has to be balance. Smudged. My glasses were smudged. I had to clean them real quick. Shad from last episode, does the ornamental piece on Baylor's helmet change anything about your breakdown? Could it be like a can opener? Oh, we'll have to ask Shad that, Kevin. Thank you. Woogie Boo Fuff. One thing WB's done right is uncensored Looney Tunes cartoon DVDs. At least they're not erasing their history. I can at least skip the Whoopi intros. Well, that's until Netflix gets them, and you won't get shit. Although Paramount made a pretty good offer today, I think. It sounds to me like just Warner Brothers wants to be bought by Netflix, but Paramount is making it more difficult. I think they offered, you'll have to go to the financial analyst guys, but $32 a share, which is what Zaslav has been shooting for. And whatever happens, dude, he's tripled the stock in a year. Now, it is false. It is all false. So enjoy it while it lasts, because you either cash out when it gets sold, or for some reason it doesn't get sold and it goes right back down. They're in the same shape they were before. It's not building the stock over quality. It's building the stock over the possible speculation. It's IP speculation. It's IP speculation. And Warner Brothers, I don't know, became a hot girl to two studios, and neither of them are a good choice. Paramount is a slightly better choice because of physical media, but Paramount is not as good with physical. I mean, there's no 4K Landman. There's no 4K Tulsa King. So they're not that great with physical media, but at least they put it out. But honestly, if it's not in 4K, I don't give a shit unless it's just not available anywhere. It depends. It depends on how old it is. Like Star Trek, the animated series in Blu-ray, I'm fine with that being in Blu-ray because that's the only time we're ever going to get it. You know, Deep Space Nine is DVD. It's shit, but it's all we got. Mexi Rage for $2. Make the Raymond spinoff like Clarkson's Farm. Easy. There you go. Orc Gasmatron. It says Orc Gasmatron for 10 British pounds, proper money. What a great show. An unsung hero I haven't heard you boys mention. I spotted a Dr. Hugh Doherty of the University of East Anglia listed as medieval consultant in the credits. Authenticity for the win. Hell, oh, I didn't catch that at all. Deadbeat father Ryan tax raised for yo kid, Ryan. That's Mexi Rage. Oh my God, are you simping for Ryan's black girlfriend? Come on, Mexi Rage. Only 2 Kingsguard at the funeral. Did one die? One was injured in the book. One was severely injured. Jacqueline Morris for $5. Speaking of Tourette's, fuck ass, name that movie. Corvo the Crow for $4.99. Looking forward to Hugh of the Blue Collar in season 3. Yes, I've read the books. I don't care what happens. David for $10. How was the ending different from the books that has you worried? I might have missed it. I'm at work, so my bad. It's all good. The ending in the books was Makar gives Egg permission to travel with Dunk. In the show, Egg just takes off. Mr. Grant Gregory for $5. There was good characters to root for in House of the Dragons, but they wrote Nettles out and replaced her with someone who is who is deep as skin. Okay. It would have been interesting to see Nettles' character. But then if you bring in Nettles, then you don't need to make the Valerians black. You don't. Now, they made it work within the show, but you bring in Nettles, who's a black girl, who's like, in the story, she's black, and she learns how to ride dragons just by feeding sheep. We think she does grow up on Dragonstone, so there's a very, very good chance there's a drop of dragon blood because you need to have some dragon blood in you to ride a dragon. You just do. You just do. People always go, Nettles. It's like, she's on fucking Dragonstone. Very good chance she's got a drop of dragon blood. Notice the kids playing Dragon Ho, a.k.a. Sarah Targ, on the ground of Beeberry Funeral. Yes, they're all Dragon Whore. That's what they said. The kids were saying it. It was pretty funny. This was a nice change of pace. I am currently reading Thomas Pynchon's books, which are the exact opposite of this, so I appreciate a balance in media. Hail, Night King, hail. Billy D. Shilliams, Y-Files should replace Hecklefish with BAFTA guy. CW for $10. I have Tourette's, and that's a ridiculous excuse. Holly Movie Star for $5. Breaking, Tourette's activist shouts N-word during BAFTAs telecast while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo present an award for Avatar, Fire and Ash. Maybe he was talking about Avatar. Mexi Rage for $2. Guys, Raymond is not iDubbbz. We are so we are good. Calm down. It's cucked. The cuckaroo bird does the exact same thing. Sends incentive. Talking about Raymond getting cucked because she's lying about him about being pregnant. It's dishonest, but he's marrying a whore. But she's hot. So, I think Raymond will be fine. He's going to go make cider. And it'll probably be a Dundarian kid. So, it's not a bad bloodline. George R. R. Martin can't figure out how his story, his story at this point, as far as when's the winner. No. When is Ryan and Dan Vast duet going to happen? Not soon enough. Imperial Fist Stand for $10. Do we not have some recency bias for the modern A Song of Ice and Fire characters? Do we really believe that like 6 of the top 10 fighters ever in Westeros were from the same 50-year span? I don't really believe that. Oh, we were talking about the time span of a Game of Thrones. We weren't talking about the history of all of Westeros. So we were talking about the best fighters during Game of Thrones, not the entire history of Westeros. And we were throwing out like Barristan Selmy, the Red Viper, Jaime with both hands, the Mountain, No, that's even Arthur Dane if we want to go a little further back. But if you want to go the entire history of the Dragon Knight, Daemon Targaryen, he ain't bad. All right, that wraps it up for... Oh, wait, no, I got a couple more. How many readers that haven't bought the books like me has George missed out on? Because, I read that one last night. Also, are we discussing The Redhead with Raymond Fossaway? I read that one last night, too. I've been loving and seeing people loving the series and telling me people are missing and longing for true good guys and simple story. Yes. Thank you, Bexy Rage. That's one of the great things about it. That's one of the great things about it. I don't know if wholesome's the right word, but it's close. It's as wholesome as George gets. I mean, there is a giant schlong and a guy shitting and a girl getting her finger broken and, it's pretty violent. It's pretty violent. Show's a banger, though. It's great. Gary's doggy treats in his pocket. That's his stream snack, by the way. No. Fuck no. I'm not going to eat a doggy treat. You kidding me? Fasting right now. Fasting right now. Okay, let's go to FNT. Where was I on FNT? Give me a moment. I'm going to burp. Or am I? It's like a sneeze. I feel it coming on, but it's not coming on now. There it is. Thanks for defending me from Dave Filoni for $10. Thanks for defending me from this toxic grifter, Jeremy. I mean, sure, I admitted to sneaking stuff past George, even in Clone Wars, but I thought maybe making Ahsoka never die and making Sabine the definition of Mary Sue girl boss was going too far. Guess not. Oh, this is their fight. It was funny as hell. Lee for $5. Ryan is angry and gay. He's definitely angry. Jesus Davila has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership for $5. Thank you very much, Jesus. Gunner for 50 Norwegian krona. Egg to Prince Andrew. Do you mean to enter the lists? Gunner for 20 Norwegian krona. The latest E-stain distraction. It's aliens. Is it a distraction from the, just because it's a distraction doesn't mean we might get some truth out of it. I highly doubt it, but to the people who go, stop thinking everything's a distraction. Everything is a distraction in Hollywood. Things just don't happen on the fly. They don't. It's a very scripted place. And I know Trump's there, but he is still surrounded by the perma government. Dent Masterson for $10. Rebels has a special place in my heart. It was the show my son and I would watch together when he was little. That's cool. Nothing wrong there. Gunner for 5 Norwegian krona. 96% off tariffs are paid. 96% of tariffs are paid by UF customers. It's just a tax, says Gunner. 96% of tariffs are paid by U.S. consumers. True. But to a point, the whole point of the tariffs isn't to save people money right now. It is to discourage European countries and our trade partners from fucking over us and getting them to come to the table. They don't benefit anybody in the short term. They're supposed to benefit in the long term. That's the whole point of it. It's supposed to hurt a little bit, right? Also, you know, if things are getting tariffed too much, like, I don't know, my 1/6 scale hot toy figure, I just won't buy it. It's, you know, but I'm not going to sit here and break, you know, I'm not an economist, but I know that we float the world quite a bit, and they let us do things like pay most of the bills at the United Nations, and we do most of the world policing, and Europe particularly, love you Europeans, but you don't put in shit. You really don't. And you haven't, because our government's letting you get away with it. So can't really blame you, but now the bills due. It's time to pay up. Time to, you know what? If we're going to do some Operation Iran, Norway, by all means, you guys take this one, please. I'd rather sit it out. I'd rather sit it out. But yeah, I mean, like, listen, it's complex, and we've let you get away with it forever. And believe me, taxation is theft. I'm not a fan of fucking any of it. But Europe is pretty comfortable because of our protection for a long time. For a long time. I agree with this one. Holy shit. Property tax is the worst of them all. Is the worst of them all. Taxation is theft. Oh, listen, we all have nukes, Gary. I'm not sure Afghanistan and Iraq was for our protection. You think? You think it wasn't for our protection? You don't say, Gray. You don't say. Yeah, we got to fix our shit over here before we start world policing, which I am against. Tabletop epics for $1.99. Pedro File Pascal's disdain be with you. Hell, what the fuck? John Shepard from Atlantis or Jack O'Neill? Who wins? John, you're gonna have to ask Matthew Hammond can answer that question. Summonus. Gary's face listening to Vara explain 1348 Moto Scissor was peak hilarity. I still don't understand any of it. Thank you, William Perry, for $5. Robert Hayes for $4.99. Oh, and Shad, Goku is a monk, not a wizard. Get your glasses straight, brother. Yeah, I'm on the chat side. Goku is a monk. He's not a wizard, Shad. What the fuck? Samanias for 20 Canadian pesos. SG1 falls off with the Ori arc and no Jack O'Neill. Atlantis is perfect. More action. No Zap problem. And Ronan and Dr. McKay bridge a familiar but unique take on the archetype of Daniel Jackson and Talik. I guess I'll find out. Don't spoil it for me. Spoilers. Jose Taco for $1.99. Early screening for Hail Mary for Prime on sale now. Got my tickets. Got my tickets. Monday the 16th. Can't wait to see it. I could see Peter Claffey dunk the tall as Superman. He shows he can capture the earnest belief in good and socially awkward nature of Clark. We did have some conversations about that. That A Night of the Seven Kingdoms showed us a true, genuine, wholesome hero, much better than Superman's James Gunn. So tonally, totally different things, but tonally, with the main character being a hero. Let's put it this way. More people are complaining about Superman's James Gunn than A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. More people are connecting with Dunk than Superman. And it's because you got the wrong guy to make Superman. You got a guy who doesn't believe in Superman. He had to crack Superman, and he didn't do it until he did it through fucking crypto. So why would you take the job at DC to run DC Studios, decide to start with a superhero you haven't cracked yet, and you're a fucking writer? Now, every time James Gunn opens his pie hole, I'd tell him to shut the fuck up, but every time James Gunn opens his pie hole, we are closer to being rid of him. We are closer to being rid of him. Christ Vandy for 20. My grandpa called me and my family last weekend to say goodbye. I coped with some typo negative and wine by the bonfire. My friend called and asked me if I'm okay. I said I would rather call him back than watch Starfleet Academy. I was wondering where that was going. Oh, Starfleet Academy. Yep. James Gunn is a one-trick pony. I mean, it's pretty clear at this point. Starfleet Academy. No, James Gunn went out there. What the fuck did he fucking do? This pissed me off, but everybody pointed it out. So let's see if I can find the tweet. Pretty sure Mueller sent it to me. I hope Molly's feeling better. There we go. Here we go. Here's what I was talking about. 1.1 million impressions. Twitter is so authentic. It is so authentic. This motherfucker. From DC Film News, DC Superman doesn't believe in Santa Claus. He's an adult. And Divide Pink says, ask James Gunn, does Superman believe in Santa in the DCU? No, he's an adult. Now let's see if people responded. More importantly, does Santa Claus believe in James Gunn? I'm waiting for people to point out that canonically, Santa Claus is in the fucking in DC Comics. He's a character in DC Comics. He shows up multiple times, including a JLA run. Somebody should tell James Gunn that Santa Claus is canon in the DC universe and drops the wiki. He is his own worst enemy. Luckfeld, sorry. James Gunn is his own worst enemy. And it's, again, it's, if you like the movie, that's fine. I you know what? I was at a meetup shortly after it came out at Comic-Con, and I had some great discussions with fellow members of the audience who really loved it. And we sat down and we discussed it like men talking about Superman, and none of us were fighting. None of us were screaming, point, counterpoint. And that was it. It was normal stuff. But it's undeniable that it was a divisive movie. And it's not the best way to start out your planned DCU when you maybe should have focused on, I don't know, James Gunn should have found somebody who knows as a matter of fact, there's somebody out there. I wish I could name him. There's somebody out there who could write a Superman, and there's somebody out there who could direct a Superman that have offered to do it for years, and they have been turned down. The person who writes Superman does not have to be MAGA, but they do have to be the kind of person, and I mean it, that puts out their American flag on 4th of July. I think it would be better if their American flag is hanging out in front of their house 365 days a year, like this motherfucker. And they have to believe in the American way. And believe in heroism. And if you look at everything James Gunn likes, James Gunn has edgelord taste in comic books. And listen, I like Grant Morrison stuff too. I do. I just don't think you start out an entire universe with Grant Morrison stuff. Grant Morrison is downstream. It is stuff that can be built upon when you've already established the foundation of heroism. You could, and years down the line, you get Grant Morrison to come in to do some different things that are fun, but you don't start with him. You don't announce Authority as your second movie. And I know it didn't happen, but that's even worse. The fact that you announced it and then you didn't do it. And then you incorporated elements from the Authority into Superman. I think R&B is out there saying that the sequel will be called Superman Man of Tomorrow. I believe that. Because you know what it looks like if your Superman sequel isn't a Superman sequel? It means that your Superman wasn't as successful as you said it was. But I think superheroes are cooked. Like I said, all I can tell you right now is it's not just our sphere, right? Which is a lot of different people. I don't think any of you are going to like the ending of Secret Wars. And I don't think the shills are going to like the ending of Secret Wars. I don't even think the fucking shills are going to be happy with it. It is like, what? The one thing I can tell you, because I don't think it's a secret anymore, is things are getting rebooted, but it's not a hard reboot. It's kind of a half-ass one. Learning about Blomkin's Alien 5 plans, aka Alien 3 reboot, only makes me more upset with Ridley. Damn it! Newt could have gotten a second chance. Yes. 10 rays tube for $4.99. Nuclear ETA school is hard. Not a fan of RLC circuits. Hail Ryan. Keep up the good work. What did I just say? Like ET the extraterrestrial going nuclear? Kill Gannon for $2. Jeremy can't win. Ryan has about 30 IQ points on him. See, this is what I appreciate about my gay friend Jeremy, who I love. He knew he was losing that argument the whole fucking time. He just went in. That's great. And he started just kitchen sinking, fucking bringing in the Chicago Bears and accusing Brian of sounding like a prequel hater, one of the biggest champions of the prequels out there. I call it MLK a racist. It's funny. It's fucking funny. I'm like, where is he going with this art? Oh, really? I mean, I knew where he was coming. The man was fighting for his life. And you know what? He didn't die on his knees. He didn't die on his knees. As his face zoomed in was great. It was great. I missed it. Oh. You sound like a prequel. That is the worst thing you can say to Ryan. The whole thing was fucking funny. I loved it. Wild Warlock for 10 Australian dollars. We don't need to eat shite to know it tastes like shite. Rebels sucks because it also has Ahsoka, and Ahsoka is a dog shite lore breaking girl boss character. Hashtag Ryan was right. At the time when Clone Wars and Rebels was coming out, like when I was watching it, I never took it seriously. So I can't say I was upset about Ahsoka or anything, because I'm like, this is a cartoon that will get next movie, they'll contradict it in canon, not knowing that they would hand the keys to the kingdom to the guy running the cartoon that was just there to, it basically keep the base fan base happy. That's what cartoons and comics do and books do. It's like, we're going to give something to the base fan base to keep them happy, to keep them going. And you can really do the most with novels. So I've probably read more Star Trek novels than Star Wars novels, but they are great. So if you're a hardcore fan of that thing, not all of them, but there's a ton that are just really fun, trying different things. But when you're reading that novel, at least I've always been aware that when I'm reading a novel or a comic book, I'm like, none of this is going to stick. But the important thing with the EU is I think the EU did a pretty good job. Ryan can tell you more than me, of basically world building for Star Wars, and the sales of those books were pretty fucking high. So I think it was even beyond the hardcore fan base. I remember I talked to a couple of writers and they told me those books sold great. Dark Horse was selling. I mean, they were making lots of money off that license. So for a long time, it did a lot of good work. So to destroy that was stupid. But I mean, contradicting one thing, comic books and books are just canon, meant to be contradicted immediately. But what Disney Star Wars did is ripped it off and adapted it poorly. And we talked about Aftermath, right? The Chuck Wendig book. Holy shit, was that bad? Des Roma for $4.99. That's not anger. That's foreplay energy. Who is the winner? Plot twist. The real winner tonight is their mattress. No convo about Disney AI cease and desist. Says for Ben Menegre. Oh, for the AI movies that are out there pretty much embarrassing Disney Star Wars. We did talk about it last week. It's not surprising that's coming. I mean, would it have happened? It still would have happened. So the cease and desist was coming no matter what. Did all the reaction videos out there of all the Star Wars AI stuff, I don't know, egg Disney on or get them to do it a little faster? Sure, I can buy that. I think it did have something to do with it, but that was always going to come because Disney wants to control their own. It's not like Disney's against AI. They're against other people using their characters for AI. The thing is, though, it does fall under fan film. So if you're putting that AI stuff up there and you're not making any money off it, yeah, but YouTube is. So that's the problem. So it's not the creator making money. YouTube is. So yeah, I'm not surprised Disney did it. As far as people saying like those AI movies are better than like D+ series or the Disney trilogy, they are. They are, but they're still AI. They're still obviously AI. And it's got a ways to go, but some of the concepts I think are pretty cool. And it certainly has a lot of people interested. There's still people who love Star Wars. God bless them. No, DEI has invaded Starfleet. So DEI has inflated Starfleet and Star Wars. Starfleet and Star Wars a long time ago. Starfleet is DEI the show. I mean, when they sat down in the writer's room and sat down for conceiving Starfleet Academy, the first thought was, no, I got this great story idea. That was not it. It was DEI. How much diversity and inclusion can we put in one show? And it's a lot. They can never really take it away from you, Francis. They can never really take it away from you. I did a little bit on previous streams. I think it's great. He's got all the control. I heard he's been going a little woke lately, though. But as far as authors go, I think he's got a better deal than George R.R. Martin. He's got more control. So good for him. And he doesn't need it. His crowdfunding is fucking insane. So respect for that. And he gets books done. So good for him. Disney can't make me stop loving Star Wars. I just have no love for their version. Word. Well said. Jeremy Ryan, just kiss and make up already. Says Evil Black Cat for $2. Angry Ryan is my favorite Ryan. Buster Nut Smash for $25. Vanessa for $2. I hate when mom and dad fight. I love it. Fun with collecting for $1.99. Now this is pod racing. Nerds win. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. I agree with that. Oh no. If Mando and Grogu wanted to do a nostalgic homage to a beer commercial, I can think of a Chilean brand that would have been way better. Ryan is Star Wars Nostradamus. Kind of is. Well, I don't know if Nostradamus. Who's famous for Nostradamus is a prophet. Ryan is like an archivist. Who is the keeper of records. Who's somebody, I don't know, give me somebody from Greek mythology. That will be what Ryan is. Jeremy's wrong and gay. Ryan will see you joining Mahler and the lads for Ahsoka season 2. Maybe. I mentioned on GNG, but I've pitched into the creation ring, started on an anime style project featuring HOTF email characters and some biblical themes called Busted 5 by Artist Muse. That's me, the tactical musician. Good luck. Have fun. Be creative. Even if it's just for you. Stopped to get coffee, and there was a car with a Puerto Rican flag license plate. I can't begin to tell you how loud Bad Bunny was playing in this car because he was listening to Van Halen like a total Chad. Hot for teacher. Fuck yeah, wet boss. For $19.99. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God, the drumming in Hot for Teacher. Alex Van Halen's drumming in that is fucking insane and good. Based. Where was I? I liked the trailer. Oh my, what? The Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. I like the trailer. Narco for $10. I hope the movie is good. Zeb is cool. Screw you, Jeremy. I hope the plot is Mando offing the NR's Black Book of Baddies. Clone Wars is good. Ryan secretly loves Ahsoka. Do you think that's it? Ryan is just a jilted lover? The best Clone Wars are Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. And the fact that they're not in 4K is it's just another example of Disney being retarded. Miki, are you okay for $1? Miki's always okay. Jason Webster for $5 Australian dollars. You will suffer. Obviously, this dude didn't watch The Acolyte. There you go. Imperial Fist Stand for $20. You can have quiet characters, but having a quiet character always wearing a helmet so they can't emote makes it even harder to relate to and care about. Live action cartoons, anime, all have quiet characters that work. Yep. The thing is, though, where animation has a advantage over live action when you have quiet characters is you can do things with the animation to emote that like humans can't, right? So you can have like Snake Eyes like act surprised, but what they do is they actually like enlarge the head a little bit. You know, it's little things like that, right? That work. One of the cool things, I'm going to give Marvel credit for this. Marvel and Sony. Spider-Man's eyes. Having Spider-Man's eyes move, which I'm sure they got from Deadpool, was fucking brilliant. It really works. Primus sucks. Oh, man. I was about to give you some advice that, like, I shouldn't. I should. You know what you should do? You should go, hey, baby, I want to get back together. Can I come over and we could talk about it? You know, just lay it on thick. Go to her house. Steal it back. I believe the planet will. I believe in your game. I believe in your game. Primus suck. Get it straight. I'm not going to sit here and defend Primus. I'm not going to defend Primus. I don't know what the hell's going on. Whoa. I like some of their stuff, but I'm not going to sit there and go, they're the greatest band ever. It's like, no, not really. Have you seen the Peaky Blinders, the Immortal Man trailer? If so, what do you think? I thought it looked pretty good. John Paul, I thought it looked pretty good. It's better than the Mandalorian Grogu trailer, that's for sure. My name is Mud. I think when I was really getting into because I learned how to play bass later because I'm a drummer first. So I wanted to, because I was poor, I wanted to learn an instrument that I could actually practice at home anytime, right? Without having to worry about drums and buying drums and whatever. So I learned how to play bass. A friend of mine taught me how to play bass. And so I went through my, Primus phase like everybody else does playing a bass. And it's fine. I'm not going to say they suck, but I'm not going to like white knight for them either. They are an acquired taste. Jay Mandreco for $2 says, I love you, but please stop talking about Crap Trek. About 3 weeks. About 3 weeks. The channel is called Primus. Is it like Primus fans all say Primus sucks inside joke, Gary? Maybe I remember that. Maybe I don't, but I'm not a hardcore Primus fan, so I wouldn't know. He's always making plans for Nigel. Where was I? I wanted to respond to that one. Please stop talking about Star Trek. I am sorry. I cannot acquiesce to your request. The channel is called Nerdrotic. We are going to see this shit all the way through. Fargate is better. It is. Pendragon Cycle, Rise of Merlin. What are your thoughts? Asked Chris Weaver. I have watched the first 2 episodes. I'm watching it with my wife. She's out of town, so we're going to catch up on it after. So the first 2 episodes, I was surprised because I'll be real, Chris. I thought it was going to suck. I thought it was going to be a piece of shit. And somebody at the Daily Wire was kind enough to offer it. I could have seen it early, and I just never got around to it, So I briefly subscribed to the Daily Wire and to watch these episodes because people were requesting it, and I was genuinely curious. So I'm going to check this out. And they're directed by Jeremy Boring, produced by Jeremy Boring, and I think they are competent. I'm only talking about the first 2 episodes though, so it might get better as it goes on. I don't know, but I will call it very competent. My criticism so far, it repeats visuals you don't need to repeat, stays on scenes a little bit too long. The positives, the effects are pretty good. For a Daily Wire production, they did put a lot of money into it. The music is quite good. The acting is fine. I don't know anything about, I guess they're based on books. I haven't read the books. But I love the lore. I love that it's partially based on Atlantis, and they're showing the birth of Merlin right now. There are altar calls in it for sure. It is a Christian work, so they stop everything to talk about the one God. I think they could have. I don't mind it being in there, right? I would have just, I don't know, made it flow more authentically, right? Because it's. Listen, this happened in Homestead too, which when I was watching a show on Angel, and I liked the show, but man, they would just and do their altar call, right? Which woke Hollywood does all the fucking time with LGBTQ stuff. So I get that part, but I would have just like, I don't know, weaved it in a little more authentically, but it doesn't like make me stop watching. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was fine. So we're going to keep watching it. I fully expected Chris to like watch one episode and go, no. But is it on the level of a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms? No. Does it need to be? No. It doesn't need to be. It's very much like a sci-fi series, right? Which I love. So if that helps, but I have not seen anything past the first 2 episodes. And again, like I don't mind that stuff being in like anything I watch. I'm not like some fucking dipshit from I don't mind it. My mom's I got a Catholic mom and a Lutheran mom. So like it's all good. It's all good. I don't mind that stuff being in there. I just like just make it a little more authentic. Don't like bring everything to a screeching halt. But maybe it's just once. Maybe that because it happens in before the end of the second episode. And the end of the second episode, I mean, something happened that genuinely surprised me. I was like, oh shit. So well done. Well done. Modern Hollywood writers crunch old scripts in Excel and pivot tables into new ones. Yes. So anybody complaining about AI, I promise you they're all fucking using ChatGPT and writing AI. They were already using programs to help write scripts. There's Final Draft, which helped you format one, which was actually a pretty damn good tool. But they also reused scripts. So part of my class that I was in, the digital video intensive at San Francisco State back in 2009, was we had to recreate a Matlock episode. Our aesthetics teacher, Phil, had worked on the show. So he just brought us in a Matlock script. And what he told us is, and I forgot the other shows, but he mentioned like, oh, this is the same script that was used in a Rockford Files and a Murder, She Wrote and like 3 other shows that just changed some names and changed a couple of situations. So that's how they did procedural TV back in the day. And nobody really gave a shit because you're there to watch the Rockford Files. You're there to watch Murder, She Wrote, Angela Lansbury, like care what the fucking plot is. We kind of need to get back to that. I'm fine with that. Ironside. When is the 4K box set of Fargate available, War Dog? Well, it's in a little bit of a rights issue right now. It's in a little bit of a I heard the restoration has been done. The Nance thing gave me the heebie-jeebies, Jimmy Savile vibes. Fucking, yeah. If you want to know if evil exists, it's Jimmy Savile. Demon, literal demon. Zeitgeist Ruminator for 10 British pounds. Starfleet Academy, no need for allegory here. What you see is what you get. What's the point of science fiction setting if the creatives don't have the imagination to tell stories metaphorically? Because they're not, imagination requires a certain amount of intelligence. It does. A base amount of intelligence. And I can hear you now. You're like, wait a minute. There's a bunch of kids with Down syndromes and who are retarded who have imagination. And my answer will be, yes, they do. But somehow Alex Kurtzman and everybody writing Starfleet Academy doesn't. Oh, you thought Paramount ended Halo? Just wait. Xbox just replaced Phil Spencer with the nepotism Indian woman who has only ever worked on AI. The worst in 3 years ahead of us. The worst 3 years are ahead of us. Yeah, good luck. I mean, the fact that they're still hiring like that, guys. The fact that they're still hiring like this is incredible. David Borean. Why am I blanking on his name now? Boreanaz as Rockford. Make new shit. Stop. Yeah. Well, I think that's a signal, and I think the guys talked about it on the show because I don't know for real, but I think that's a signal like we really don't give a fuck here. Alien Blue for 25 New Zealand pesos. Starfleet Academy has nothing to criticize thoughtfully. It's theater kids being awful. Plus, they forgot that fake praising the glue eater is only so the glue eater feels better. They took it serious and made her the star. I do get a lot of enjoyment out of Disparu trying to apply logic to the show because he's so logically minded. And he also didn't grow up in California. So there's a thing about being a Californian. If you're a sane Californian, you kind of accept the base reality of insanity and retardation you have to live in every day. It's probably like being a New Yorker, right? You know, you're a common sense person walking around New York and you're like, you just have to accept that there's a guy jerking off over a dead guy in Times Square where a guy's like naked on a unicycle who's got an iPhone that you paid for while you're getting a $200 ticket for being 1 second over a meter. Like that's your base reality in New York. And one day I just decided, well, I don't need to live like this. I don't need to have whores fucking Johns in my front yard. I don't need to constantly get tickets being parked in front of my own fucking house for some stupid street washing scam where the fucking street washer comes along and just blows dirt everywhere. I don't have to live in a place where I have to, it's like planning the invasion of Normandy where I want to go downtown to park and I have to leave an hour early. Like going out to dinner to Mel's fucking Diner and the Sony Metreon 20 years ago with a family of 4 cost $150. Parking, food, tickets. 20 years ago, it cost $150. So I'm like, we don't have to do this anymore. This is stupid. This place smells like piss. And my God, it was better. The Sony Metreon had a full arcade where the Wild Things are displayed up front, the full theater, a Sony like shop, you know, for video games. And across the street, there was Mel's Diner. So the Mel's Diner from American Graffiti. It's the same one. It's like George Lucas's diner. And you can go there and you get something to eat. And the food was really good. Right. And then FAO Schwartz was not that far away. So you can go to FAO Schwartz. Yeah, it was good times. All gone. I think Mel's Diner is still there. Everything else is gone. I remember when I saw Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, and they had a giant inflatable Spider-Man crawling up the Sony Metreon. Thing was 2 stories tall. It was fucking awesome. I miss fuck around and find out Schwartz. It's overpriced as fuck. You're right. But dude, remember the Millennium Falcon they had over the escalator? They had every one, right? I know a guy who's got one. I wonder if he still has it. He offered to sell it to me for, I think it was $7,000. No. For one, it's Star Wars. Now, if it was a Enterprise refit, but it wasn't. Not the Toys R Us one. The Toys R Us one was good. The FAO Schwartz one was 1,000 times better. Oh, is there another Mary Sue article? Rage baiting Star Trek. Oh, let's go look at my girl Rachel Leishman. You know what? We just got to admit it that she might have a little bit of a thing for me. And like, who could blame her? When it comes to 56-year-old nerds I'm quite the catch. For real. I get it. But I'm married. Let's see. Mary Sue. No. Oh, God. Here is the first article I get to. This fucking thing. People pay for this shit. Heated rivalry fandom has a racism problem. If you don't know, Heated Rivalry is a gay show. So the gay show has some gay racism. It's a woke on woke crime. It's a woke up. What? Somebody in the chat goes, he isn't Jewish. What does that got to do with anything? It's gayception. It's gay race, gaysismception. I don't know what's behind it. I'm almost curious, but woke will eat itself. I just hope it doesn't take the rest of the world with it. But apparently, the gay show has a racism problem, according to Rachel Leishman. And that's not even originally what I... Oh, here's another one. This is from today. The thing about being a commentator on pop culture and a critic of entertainment, I think you have to have... There's certain things you need. You need to be able to talk. You need to be able to put your pants on, take a shit, normal things. Feed yourself without like hurting yourself. Be able to use utensils sharper than a spork without hurting yourself. Some just basic underlying things. Another basic underlying thing is you need to have good taste. You just do. Now, that good taste can differentiate, right? But I think there's some like fixed points of entertainment, of film, of TV show, fixed points of quality that I think there has to be a general consensus of, right? You have to like The Godfather, right? But if you don't like The Godfather, then you have to like Raiders of the Lost Ark, or think of some other classics, right? You have to like, it's like if you don't like The Godfather, but you got to like Bridge Over the River Kwai. There's basic classics that I think everybody, even if they don't like them, can understand, like, this is a classic. This is a classic film. If you don't like Jaws, but you like, I don't know, Star Wars instead of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and you don't like Blade Runner, but you like Fifth Element. Yeah, I think Fifth Element's one of those damn movies. So there is basic, like, great films. The Exorcist, like Alien, Exorcist, Godfather, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Star Wars, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and that's all genre stuff. We can get into the non-genre. We can get into the non-genre stuff too, but we're like basic stuff that, everybody agrees is pretty good, right? And some people just don't have that taste. It just doesn't exist. And I think Rachel is one of those people. 1992 space movie. You know, like, there you go. Lawrence of Arabia is like something that even if you don't like, you've watched once and you go, my God, that was one of the most beautifully shot movies of all time. I understand why it is considered an all-time classic, right? That's it. Lawrence of Arabia, Bridge Over the River Kwai, Ben-Hur. I'll even throw in 10 Commandments on that one. You know, just no, like when people say 5 top greatest films of all time, like your most basic bitch answers are what should be the answers, right? Citizen Kane, Lawrence of Arabia is fucking amazing, right? But then we can get into the other tier of like modern classics where people will fight over, but like at least we can all agree, like, you know, everybody likes Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? What I'm guessing happened to Rachel is she was a fan of all this stuff, and then she went to university and took a women's studies class and had a really malleable mind, and everything became problematic. An unironic usage of the word problematic. She thinks everything is problematic and patriarchy and all that other bullshit. I don't care beyond that. But she is someone who enjoys, who loves when my favorite franchises and properties have new stories to tell. So she thought last episode was a new story. Interesting. As a fan of both Star Trek and Star Wars, it has been wonderful to see them both grow in recent years, but that's not how others feel about the franchise. Chat, do you feel that Star Wars and Star Trek have grown in the last few years? I know how I feel about that. I would say they have grown old, tired, vandalized, raped. We have experienced shrinkage. But yes, so there's fixed points of greatness in Hollywood that we can all kind of decide on. And I think she misses them all. I think she just doesn't have good taste. I think anybody, you can like Starfleet Academy. It's totally okay. And I've said this before. But I would be very concerned that you are operating heavy machinery. And I think anything over an electric bicycle, I think the fact that you vote is incredibly disturbing. The fact that you shouldn't probably eat with anything sharper than a spork. And you shouldn't go outside without any supervision because you are a danger to yourself and others. But other than that, it's okay to like Starfleet Academy. Recently, there's been an uptick in vitriol spewed at the new series Starfleet Academy. Fans have decided that the series is woke, which it is. Star Trek. By your definition of woke, the entire franchise falls under that descriptor. Boy, here we go again. She's not smart. Okay. It's like picking on Grace Randolph. You're picking on a retarded kid, you know. By your definition, woke, the entire franchise falls under that descriptor. Then why did so many people like it long before you were born? Rachel Leischman, who is wider than she is tall. But more than that, the show itself is just a celebration of the franchise as well as a doorway to new fans. That's a good thing. Oh, really? We got it. That's a good thing. Thank God we got that. That's a good thing. I made it title my video today. Where are those new fans coming from, Rachel? Do we have any data to back up that we are getting new fans to the Star Trek franchise? A lot of so-called fans get furious that the show isn't perfect. No, we get furious because it isn't even good. It's not even kind of good. It is a lazy vandalization done by a guy who's been doing it for 10 years, who doesn't care about Star Trek. And Rachel, maybe I know something you don't know. Maybe I know something you don't know. Maybe I've talked to people who've worked on the shows. And Kurtzman doesn't care about Star Trek. This might come as shocking news to a lot of people. Or is it littered with references for them to appreciate that are mostly looked up by the research department? Starfleet Academy does have plenty for fans. I thought she said plenty of fans. I was going to go, wait a minute. Plenty for fans for Star Trek to love, but the vitriol spewed at the shows follow an upsetting trend with new additions to beloved franchises. Rachel, I have been going after Star Trek for a long time. We are close to 10 years. For me, Starfleet Academy is filled with joy. The show is happy, fun, and exciting series to watch, and that's how I feel about a lot of newer additions to legacy franchises. But the joy that has present within these stories seems to really anger people who deem themselves the real fans of said franchise. Okay, what specifically? Here we go. This is what we always come across. Rachel, I know you're watching. Rachel. What specifically gives you joy? Point out a specific moment that gives you joy. Do a comprehensive review. Do it in video form. Now, if you just like seeing idiot teenagers played by 30-year-olds running around regurgitating some of the worst dialogue ever written, and that brings you joy, cool. No problem. Nobody's going after you for liking the show. Nobody is. I don't care that you like the show. But you seem to have a problem with people having a different opinion than you. And you might want to consider you're wrong. You might want to consider that you have impulse control issues, particularly around the refrigerator, right? And that can be another problem that, like, I think for your health, you should have checked out. But as far as these criticisms, they're valid. They're valid. I doubt she watches a heel versus babyface video or disprove video or mine. We cite our criticisms. We cite them all the time. We tell you exactly why. You might not like it. You might disagree. But this is how Rachel deals with stuff. She writes articles and she eats. The more I hear about these critics of things like Starfleet Academy or the hatred thrown at the Acolyte, it is the Acolyte. It's worse than the Acolyte. I realize that maybe these fans are just being a bit miserable, because why else are you that furious that the show has a little bit of fun with the franchise that you claim to love so completely? Well, you know what, Rachel? I love the franchise, but you want to know why I love the franchise? Because I love the shows within it and I love the episodes within it. But this is not part of Star Trek. This is not part of the Star Trek franchise, other than that name that they paid for. But it doesn't act, look, smell, or feel like Star Trek at any moment. Because, Rachel, the reason you like it is because you're an intersectional feminist who hates men, and it's devoid of any masculinity because you're scared of it, because you fear masculinity. I'm going to use their language, by the way. You're a masculinity-phobe. I don't know. I don't know why you're so scared of it. I don't know why it angers you. I don't know why masculinity angers you so much, Rachel. Sounds like something a therapist could work out. But these fans, she's always talking about these fans. You mean the majority? The term is misandrist. Yes, it is. Well, it's the Mary Sue. So it's woman studies, angry lesbians, all the trope. I don't know if Rachel's a lesbian. I don't care. But instead of your vitriol is going towards fans who are criticizing it. If you love it so much, fucking write an article every day, comprehensively breaking down why you love the show. And any other detractor on there on YouTube, by all means, nobody is stopping you from making a 10 to 1 hour video fully edited, breaking down exactly why you love the show. If you want to make it like a real nerd conversation, point, counterpoint, by all means, talk about the show instead of us. The show that you love so much. Oh, because you don't love the show that much. Holly Hunter was great in Raising Arizona. I got nothing against her. You can't understand her. And Paul Giamatti's a great actor. A great actor. I've lost no respect for him for anything. He took a paycheck. He's doing the best he can. Fucking A, we go through this every single time there is a shitty show that comes out and it hits the zeitgeist and it becomes the fans' fault. And I think it's good. I wouldn't admit that publicly because it's objectively horrible. And if you think it's good, I think you're a danger. I think you're a danger to society. If you come out and say it's shit, but I find it charming, I can almost respect that, but it's good. It does explain a lot of things in this world. It didn't hit Nielsen's ratings, which it's pretty hard not to hit Nielsen's ratings when you have 2-episode premiere on one of the biggest streamers in the world. It's not going to ever crack them. There is review bombing going on both ways, but I think right now mostly the positive way. Garrett couldn't find it, but the day I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes, it was the audience score was filled with 5-star reviews. And this ain't no fucking 5-star review. Now the critics, of course the critics love it. And that's why nobody listens to them anymore. But if you like this show and you're a commentator on pop culture, or even worse, like a creative, you might not be in the right business. Just saying. Just saying. But what do I know, man? Judah for $5. This show is so gay. The panel is saddling up with Jeremy. I mean, it's ride or die, just like another show claimed better than euthanasia than that. If a show's fans are review bombing the show, obviously the writers are the ones at fault for not making a product for the audience that exists for the product. Says Neil Lindgren for $9.99. It has been said by many that this review bombing strangely misses things like, and I mentioned in my video, Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever is trash. It is a fucking awful movie. I think it made $800 million. And if you go look, I think even at Metacritic and IMDb, it's got pretty high scores. Nobody talks about it anymore. The review bombing missed the Marvels. Or did Rotten Tomatoes shut it down? Not really sure. But it was also review bombed the other way. It also flopped. But review bombing missed Sinners. All those racists out there missed review bombing sinners. I guess the bigots took that day off. I'm not really sure. But it's like it's the same argument denying a basic reality that you don't produce a $10 million an episode TV show to have everybody pissed off. But Alex Kurtzman simply doesn't care. So for all of our bitching for the last 10 years, he doesn't care. So the cope now is if you review bomb Star Trek, that it might kill the franchise. Good. But there's no coming back from this. Not in any real way. I talked about this years ago. The Shadow used to be the most profitable, biggest character out there. Flash Gordon was pretty popular. Buck Rogers, pretty popular. They're still around, and we still like them, but they're just gone. Which is a shame, because I'd rather watch something pulp-based than any of this. We need to bring back pulp. We do. But we know why they don't. 10 Rays Tube for $4.99. There might be some creative Hollywood accounting going on. There always is. Pee Pee Poo Poo Man for $1. Thank you very much. Real fans saved Star Trek TOS back in the 60s. Yes, they did, King Dude. Those real fans not only saved it, they made it the biggest show in oh my God, why am I blanking on the word now? It was just there, and now it's gone. In reruns, but that's not the term for it. It was the biggest show in reruns. The ratings were through the roof, and it carried it through to a very successful film franchise. Eric Guidewall, thank you for the $1. George Andery for $10 says Star Trek Starship Academy, the prom episode. Well, we had the spring break episode. Stop talking about Star Trek. It sucks. We get it, says Common Sense Commissioner for $1.99. In about 3-4 weeks. Blinded by a black hole for $1. Thank you. Alex 70J for 30 shekels. Hello from Israel to my favorite Hebrew shills. Last week, we got into a brawl with a guy from LA for calling Star Trek Academy a Jewish propaganda. Brother, it's losing money. Why insult the Jews like that? Gene, well, because Kurtzman is making a lot of money off it. I found out how much he's made off it. It's frustrating. The best that can be summed up on Kurtzman Trek is a Looney Tunes short called Duck-a-Muck. I hope it ends with Q in the place of Bugs Bunny. Ain't I a stinker? Blake Norrell for $10. Jeremy, I noticed you sometimes wear a Bama hat, War Eagle, but have you introduced everyone to the perfection that is Kaneka sausage? I don't know what that is. Lord of Hate for $10. So I started TNG, so good. I'm now on season 2. Also, the latest Fargate was crazy. Which one? Which one did you watch? Was it season 3, episode 2? Sam Rockwell's clone dying from choking on vomit was crazy. Ah, yes. Even crazier is we don't know whose vomit he choked on. Oh, but wait till you find out the next episode. Clank, clank, I'm a tank for $5 as a red-blooded American. Kilts are gay too. They could have made some warrior excuse, but no, it's just gay. Well, I am part Scottish, so I'm going to have to say no. Certain kilts are extremely masculine. Certain kilts are like, I would never wear one. because I am not I think I'm like 10% Scott. The sad thing is PlayStation 5 is winning by default, but it's been trashed too. Overall, a bad generation of bombs, price increases, and DEI, says Corey Wilson for $5. Heard that story before. Recently learned that some refer to George R. R. Martin as the American Tolkien. Since then, I've been praying Christ hurries with his return. I wouldn't call him the American Tolkien. No. Now, chat, who would you consider the American Tolkien? I wouldn't consider it George R. R. Martin. No. I do. I understood that reference. Gaming Gary, Judah for $2. I did. Southeastern Kaiju. So you're saying I should hold off on replacing my Xbox One? Damn. Greetings, Gary. Fleet Enema was so gay this week. Harvey Milk rose from his grave to try going straight. I kept hearing the Smiths' girlfriend in a coma every time Kayla was on screen. This show is every level of hell. Smiths were great. Robert Hayes for $4.99, which is hilarious since Phillips tried to market the CDI to mothers and grandmothers back in the 90s. IO for 10 Chilean pesos. The 73 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard was the end of Xbox. It made them visible and the leadership of MS on demand at 30% margin. It's those demands that have driven every bad decision since. I totally agree. I mean, right there with you. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I said. I long for the day when Gary would read out one of my super chats. It's only been 10 years. Hashtag Doctor Who is dead. It died when Matt Smith left, says Mark Bernard. Thank you for the $5 Australian. At the 50th anniversary and time of the Doctor, man, I love Capaldi. I do. And season 8 had some good episodes, but you saw it even then. And shout out to the first person who was calling it out in videos, which was Dave Cullen. Go back and I think it's here. I don't know if it's on Computing Forever. Hang on. Let me see if it's still around. Can't remember. God, was it Computing Forever? I think the video was called Doctor Who is a PR disaster, or was that Bull's Trek? I'm trying to remember the video that I can't find it. I know it's out there somewhere. Yeah, Dave Cullen has a video from great. Absolutely nailed it. Like what was going on. And this was during the Capaldi era. And he throws in the like where they call out Trump by name. This is again the Capaldi era, not Jody. Bill the lesbian. If you didn't know she was a lesbian because they mention it in passing 4 times an episode. So she's back in the 1800s. She's like, there's a lot of black people here. And Capaldi turns around and goes, yeah, they love whitewashing history or some shit. Gary's advert reads are a reason to watch. That's what I try to tell them. TJ Jordan for $5. The entertainment industry shouts, save us. The audience says, no. Yeah, they're scared right now, and they should be. From the diary of Ryan Kinnell, X-Ray Girl says she cries when cutting onions. I told her the cat's an ingredient, not a pet. Stop naming them. No. Mando and Grogu will be super successful. 11th highest grossing Star Wars movie ever, says Cup of Joe. Started watching Game of Thrones, and it's so good. I won't go beyond season 4, though. The rest of that is fanfic in my eyes. No matter who wins WB, we still lose. Yep, TJ Jordan, you are correct. Hello to the panel. Could you please give me a shout out? I'm an independent author who started a channel last year and just hit 100 subs. Hail, right on. I just did a review of Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, AJ Sobel here on YouTube. Thanks. Go check out AJ Sobel for 30. He's a new guy trying it out. Good luck. Have fun. Good luck. Don't die. Good advice for YouTube. Comparing the 2004 and 2026 casting choices of Helen of Troy, it's super easy to see which one definitely launched 1,000 ships with her face. Yep. In Tokyo, you have to go to the Making of Harry Potter movie studio tour, 10 out of 10 experience. We went in October. Hail from Vista. Vista, California? Oh, good old Vista, California. I went to jail in Vista, California. Christopher, thank you for the $4.99. Since George hates the 4-legged dragon on the Targaryen house sigil so much, add an extra leg on the sigil for each day he doesn't release the book. Hail. The Union in 2023. Let's go on strike. The Union in 2026. Let's do a sequel. The Union in 2029. There is no sequel. TJ Jordan. What do you guys think distinguishes a good show managing to get made from a bad one? Why do we get a Night of the Seven Kingdoms versus Star Trek Starfleet Academy? Why are good shows so rare nowadays? The people in charge. It's pretty simple. And it's kind of a miracle we got Dunk and Egg, but we got Dunk and Egg based on the success of House of the Dragon and HBO wanting to find a way around fans having to wait 2 years between seasons. Their solution was, we'll make another show that'll be easier to make, that we could stick in between the seasons of House of the Dragon for a little while, right? And it worked. Plus, it's easy to adapt, but it's a miracle when we get something good. It's a miracle. What you witnessed was a fucking miracle with the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It was advantageous that it came out in a sea of during the era of slop, so it looks that much better, but it's still a really good show, right? It's still a really good TV show. And for the people who are like, fuck George R. Martin because of Game of Thrones, I'm never going to watch it. I said, that's fair. I would just argue that you don't need to watch any of that. It's not really attached to any of that. And this is still good. Would I prefer something original nowadays? Kind of would, but this is what we get. And I don't regret for a second watching it and enjoying the hell out of it. This is why I do what I do. And a lot of other people enjoyed it too. And that's good. Bunch of people had fun watching a TV show. That's the point. Aaron K for $4.99. What do you think? Starfleet Academy is 90210 with Star Trek graphics mod and Jar Jar Abrams light fixing. Yes, Paul, and that's probably why Rachel likes it. I really shouldn't pick on her. Dirty Weaker for $5 has gifted one Nerdrotic sub on Rumble. Thank you very much. Hey, hold on a minute. Your Rumble wallet isn't enabled. Your gold button is grayed out. Also, Jeremy, when are you getting it? Yeah, I haven't. I did, and nothing happened. So I did go through the process of enabling it, and nothing happened. So I guess I got to go back in. Who Dat Nation Gal for $1 says, Ryan, please read please read YT is the gayest black man of BMH, left for milk while doing a drive-by with a dick in its ass, hence why it's fucking up. For your information, Jeremy, you said my damn name wrong. Hail 199 star power. Okay. Puke Bucket for 20 says, aren't you guys worried about getting AIDS from watching that show? A little bit. Little bit. Prequels were awesome. Fuck the haters, says Bill Dozer. That's where that one ends. I don't know. I could read it again. You want me to read again? I gotta whip it out. Hang on. It is from. Oh, stop. Okay, here we go. It is from Who Dat Nation Gal for $1. Says, Ryan, please read YouTube is the gay. It says YT, so I'm guessing YouTube. Ryan, please read YT is the gayest black man of BHM left for milk while doing a drive-by with a dick in its ass. Hence why it's fucking up. FYI, Jeremy, you said my damn name wrong. Hail 199 star power with thumbs up. Oh, thank you. Thank you for buying the book, John. Appreciate it. Says, great book, bro. It helped a lot. If it helped a little, that's great, but thanks for getting it. Tulsa King season 3 is out. Yes, it is. Has been for many months. Chief Judge Fish became a YouTube member. Thank you. Scottish Celts is a new member. Thank you. B Buster has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you very much. B Buster. Scottish Celts has gifted 1. Thank you very much. Mikey Gussler. I hope you enjoyed my letter, Gary. Sorry for repeatedly asking. Just finished Mirror Mirror, Star Trek OG Season 2, Episode 4 with my Nana for Vegas. Oh, that's fucking awesome. We're going to see you soon, Mikey. Love you, brother. Walter Sob Shack's Rage is a new member. Hail. Ball Gag Love Songs is a new member. Great and perfect avatar for that. Jose A. Taco has been a member for 13 months. Right on. Off topic, but across the highway from Heroes and Fantasies, there is a CD, DVD, CD movie exchange. They have awesome collections from movies to shows. Across the street from Heroes and Fantasies is a freeway. And so, like, the other direction, maybe? Because it's on an access road right next to the freeway, Jose Taco. I went there yesterday. I went to Heroes and Fantasies yesterday and got some action figures for my blank spaces on my wall. Oh, across the highway. Okay. Bought tickets for an early showing of Project Hail Mary. I'm excited, says Kara. Yeah, I am too. So you're seeing it on the 16th? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Evett Road. I've been rereading Star Trek novels. I haven't read them all, so I have more classic Trek to discover. Yes, you do, Nihilist Shadow. Yes, you do. You will enjoy. Hell yeah. We could only hope so. Oh, fucking Deadwood rules. Some of the best dialogue ever. Yes, the room tour. I'm gonna patch it up a little bit tonight. I'm also watching. I got to watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms all the way through. I know it's hard. It's a fucking tough job. Somebody's got to do it for my review. But that's my evening. It's a rough life. Deadwood is awesome. So is Rome. Yep. Yes, it is. Soul Train Academy would be better. Rome was so. I got this is the duality of man, ladies and gentlemen. Rome was all right. And you know what? That opinion is welcome here. Ray Stevenson, man. I wish Rome and Deadwood were on 4K. I do. Rome was Game of Thrones for Game of Thrones. Ian McShane and Deadwood and Ray Stevenson in Rome. Hell yeah, Lady Aaron D. Yeah, of course, Sopranos is good. Love The Sopranos. That's why HBO is always ahead on prestige TV, because they've been doing it longer than anybody here in America. In America. I haven't watched Rome in a long time. In a long time. Talk amongst yourselves. We're going to do this for a little while longer, because why the fuck not? Here, I'll put on some music. Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves. Or feed the ducks. Do whatever you need. Oh, yeah. All right. I do need to, there's a bunch of stuff I need to watch. I need to watch Stargate. I need to watch Red Dwarf. Feed the USS Athena. Play some SOD. Yeah, not on this channel. No. But I do have some OG art I can show off. So this I got from Mike S. Miller. So Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Pretty much most of the designs you see all came from the graphic novel. Art by Mike S. Miller. You can see that. So that's Egg on Thunder. And then this is from Sworn Sword. So this will be from the sequel. And Mikey gave this to me on our first meetup where I met Ryan. Comic-Con 2019. They have to give Egg his straw hat. But yeah, this is from Sworn Sword, issue 2, page 3. Yeah, the comics are the number ones are going up in price, but if you want to it might be even cheaper than the graphic novel to just pick up this individual issues. You just got to realize that it's a 6-issue series for Hedge Knight, and issues 1 through 3 are published by Image, and issues 4 through 6 are published by Devil's Due. Published by Devil's Due. Total nerd. Yep. No, I mean, like everybody's got a blind spot, Warren. You know what I mean? I should have watched Red Dwarf, but you know, when Red Dwarf was out and Stargate was out, I was working either two jobs or, you know, working what 12, 14 hours a day at my comic store. So I wish I could play some Misfits. I wish I could play some Misfits. There's a lot of Red Dwarf. So we got the meetup coming in. Let me see. 4 weeks. 18th, 19th, 20. Well, that's Wednesday. So it's 19, 20, 21st, and 22nd of March. What is the week before that? Project Hail Mary comes out on the 10th. One Piece comes out. God, there's something else coming out. Oh, it's that Daredevil. It's coming out. In a month, we'll be meeting up in Orlando. Meeting up in Orlando. Drinker's going to be there. I'm going to be there. A bunch of people are going to be there. And I think we have a panel on Saturday. And there's like, if you're going inside the con, there's a meet and greet, but then there's also the meetup Saturday night. Less than a month. When am I getting to Orlando? I think Thursday. We're flying in, so I ain't doing that drive. I am not doing that drive. I will ride Hagrid. I will 100% ride Hagrid. But yeah, 18-hour drive through the South. Nah, not this time. I mean, outside of what driving through the swamps of Louisiana, which is pretty cool. It's not the best drive in the world. Yeah, I can't. Dwarfgate. I'd love to play hybrid moments, but yeah, YouTube doesn't like that. Yes, the Hagrid line is always long. Yes, I'm going to fly. I fly once in a while. I have to. It's March is going to be very busy. I can't be wasting a bunch of time on the road. So it's a necessity. I don't love it. But it's a necessity. In Soviet Russia, Hagrid rides you. Real men would drive. I've driven a lot. I've done my part for King and Country right there. Chat. This is true. This is true. I mean, all car rentals suck. Hagrid better not break down when I'm there. No, but X-Ray Girl is dressed up as me for Halloween. Epstein's plane is for sale. No. I think it's possessed by demons. But I'm not surprised it's for sale. No, I hate fucking flying. But I do it when I have to. Okay, so Grace Randolph is, God, is she still at it? This is 1 hour ago. What did she say here? What did she say here? Man, she is just Grace. Shut the fuck up. About John Davidson regarding Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo. I've been thinking about it and listening to your responses. And while Mr. Davidson shouldn't be bullied, a lot of you are acting as if he not only can't control his offensive tics, but as if he has no idea he even has them. He does. He should therefore be as considerate of others as you're asking others to be of him. Mr. Davis didn't just say any word. He said a word that is deeply hurtful, I'm glad this white girl is speaking for all the black people, by the way. Just want to point that out. Dehumanizing with not just horrible history, but a horrible present. A word that must immediately be struck down, no, as should all slurs. And it is certainly reprehensible that the BBC did not edit it out of the broadcasting when they had the capability to do so. That is weird. That is weird. So exercise that capability and other scenarios. A word that should immediately be struck down, as should all slurs. You know how you strike down slurs? Stop giving him power. The more you tell people not to do something, they're going to do something. It's just humanity. For good or for bad. We only advance when slurs have no more power. That's just the way it is. Back to Mr. Davidson. Considering he knew this was a horrible word, he shouted out uncontrollably. Okay, so he shouted it out uncontrollably, Grace. He should have done everything to keep it from... You are so fucking retarded, Grace. You give bimbos a bad name. The whole point, he cannot control it. He doesn't know what the word will be until it comes out of his mouth. Do basic fucking research on this shit. She is really fucking dumb. No, she is retarded. This is a woman who votes, who goes outside. We have so many of these out there. And she's just digging the hole deeper. And she's already getting community. And it's telling he voluntarily left. That, yes, he left, but they asked him to be there on his own accord. Could tell what he had done was horrible. Of course he knows it. It doesn't know. It's not like he doesn't know it's horrible. He doesn't have control over it. And you guys acting like this are making it a million times worse instead of going, you know what? It's Tourette's. I feel bad for the guy. If you want to feel bad for the millionaire Michael B. Jordan, who pretends for a living in America and makes a lot of money, I would say don't. He probably felt uncomfortable at the moment and then got over it. And I promise you, it's not the first time Michael B. Jordan has heard it. So stop being mad for Michael B. Jordan, Grace. Of course, Mr. Davidson deserves to attend a ceremony where his film is being celebrated, but as he preaches understanding and responsibility, I wish he had demonstrated the same thing by himself. Like, you are fucking retarded. People with Tourette syndrome are unable to control what they say. Grace is claiming he could have controlled what he said. Tourette syndrome causes involuntary verbal tics that are not controllable, intentional, or reflection of an individual's beliefs. She just tripled down. Well, have fun on the internet, Grace. Have fun. Gary, you think Daily Wire pays those randos that keep you think Daily Wire pays those randos that keep asking about the Pendragon cycle? I don't think so. I think it's just I don't think so. It is odd how much I get asked about that. Something that's on Daily Wire. Something I'm not necessarily a champion of at all in any way, shape, or form. But it is odd. Oh, why didn't I cover Welcome to Derry? Simple. Fuck Stephen King. I mean, I'm going to be real. Fuck Stephen King. I watched the first episode and it wasn't bad. I just never got back to it. And then I got distracted by something that was clearly worse. So I'm going to tell you, Adar, that I saw one episode of Welcome to Derry and I thought it was fine, but it was better than Stranger Things. But a lot of people seem to like it. And it might swing back. I might. It just depends if I have time. I try to see as much as possible, and I do watch a lot. But if something doesn't grab me right away, you know, not in a Harvey Weinstein way, but you know, maybe like an As way. Sure. As far as Pendragon cycle, yeah, I talked about it earlier. And I do get asked about it a lot. I don't think it's people who pay. I think it is, I think it's people wanting, I think there's people genuinely wanting to give something outside of Hollywood a chance. So that's fair. That's fair. And I do, but I mainly cover just the big stuff. But I did go out and watch it, and I will finish it. But it's a show I'm watching with my wife. It's not anything I'm going to review on the channel. It doesn't really, I don't feel the need or inspired at all, but that could change as time goes on. Yeah, Mid is not allergic, but they are the worst to review because it would be just like this happens and it was fine. Nobody's into that. It's fine. I thought it was going to be shit. I think we can expect one depending on like I needed to chill a little bit today because you know I usually do what? One video a week. And I've doubled the amount of videos I've done in the last 2 months and doubled the size. So I did like 3 back to back to back that were over a half an hour. And I've been just kind of going ever since. but we can probably, I don't want to give a day, but you can expect one. I'm going to start on it tomorrow. There will be one. Oh, there will be one. And there'll be a One Piece one as well. I like the Merlin show. I think it's fine as well. I agree with you. Have I watched Fargate? I'm Fargate's biggest champion, Johnny Skinwalker. I'm an OG Fargate. I didn't realize what I just said. Gary, have you ever been in an Egyptian prison? No, thank God. I mean, free walking around Cairo free was not the most pleasant of experiences. You know what it made me do? Appreciate America. God bless America. You know, and Western civilization. I was giving some Europeans a hard time. Listen, walking around in the countryside of the UK is like, that's God's country. If your government wasn't so fucked, I would live in the English countryside. It is fucking gorgeous. So yeah, Fargate is real. Fargate was life-changing. It was. England is being invaded. It is. Matthew Hammond says Stargate SG-1 gets better towards the end of season 1 outside the episode politics, which is a clip. So, but it introduces Ronnie Cox as Senator Robert Kinsey. It's playing out like a typical first season of a 90s sci-fi show for me. Do a trip to India? Not in this lifetime. There is some stuff in India I would love to go check out, but hell no. Hell no. I've talked to people who've been there. I've heard enough to know, no thanks. And if I did go, I wouldn't bring my wife. We are going to Japan in May. I can't wait for that. Egypt's weather is fine. Like, I had no problem with it's no different than Texas. So I went there, but we went there in November, and it just felt like Texas. I know it gets a little bit hotter than Texas, but not much. Fargate is the GOAT. It is. I would come back with dysentery. He died of dysentery. He had this watch stuck up his ass. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be groped in India. Nepal, maybe. Looking for Abner Ravenwood. Where's Abner? Where's Abner? Abner's dead. He loved you like a son. I'll never leave the States ever again. I understand that feeling. Groped by Paul? No, not groped by Paul. Does anybody in the chat want to tell him? I was reciting something from Raiders of the Lost Ark. It should be something you know. So go back to class now. It's time for you to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. There. I gave it to you. How am I supposed to know that? Fargate prequel South Bend. It's controversial. It is very controversial. What's up? Not much. Just shooting the shit with the chat. Will I make FNT watch the Narnia show when it comes out? Absolutely. I think they all should. See, the thing with covering pop culture is you have to cover pop culture. And listen, I could be way harder on them than I am. But I think that will be culturally relevant in all the wrong ways. Who was doing the Narnia show? Oh, you don't know? Are you fucking with me again? Greta Gerwig. You know, I saw a doctor, so it made me think of Doctor Who. Oh, not this time. Okay. They have to announce. So I guess the news came out a couple days ago that Russell T Davies has written multiple scripts. So it might be for multiple doctors. Now, not multiple scripts for whatever option they have to give them an out if it needs to be an out, or an in if they're going to continue it. But we still don't know who the doctor is. And they need to decide. I'm guessing it's Tennant. I'm guessing David Tennant comes back because that doctor was still alive. And yes, it's all gay. Whatever the multiple scripts are, they are all gay. They are all gay. But I haven't heard anything after that. And they need to start shooting now. Matt Smith, you know what? I don't want Matt Smith to come back. I don't want him to come back in this. Say no, Matt Smith. Say fucking no. I know Capaldi will say no. But I think Tennant will, because he's still around. He bigenerated. So the 14th Doctor is still around. Now, if somebody competent was coming back, I'd love to see Matt Smith come back, but no. Or the 8th Doctor. I'd love to see Paul McGann. Just do a Paul McGann episode, except not written by Russell T Davies and not produced by the BBC. So something that's not going to happen. Yeah, he became a massive fucking cuck. Well, it's because his kid became trans, right? And somebody really needs to do the math of the disproportional amount of trans kids in the entertainment industry. So we're talking about the epicenter of the UK and Hollywood to the rest of the world. It's child abuse. It's like beating your kid. There's no difference. Whatever your kid does when he or she is 18 is what your kid does when they're 18. But when you are deciding to put them on puberty blockers or doing any surgery, which all should be illegal, if they can't own a gun, you can't get a tattoo, if you can't drink, you shouldn't be able to have puberty blockers and zipper tits. And parents who, of course, we love our kids. Of course, we want best for our kids, but we're not buddies. We're not friends. We're parents. And our whole job is to keep them from doing stupid shit before they're an adult. So, yes, taking your 13-year-old, they love to conflate this shit. And again, it doesn't matter what I think if you're an adult. If you're an adult and you make decisions as an adult, that's your individual right. Period. Like, I have nothing to say after that. When that adult tries to force other adults to lose their rights for some perceived rights that already exist, but we're talking about sports or bathrooms and shit like that, I think it's such a small percentage that nothing should change. Absolutely nothing should change. But when it's kids, oh, am I not supposed to talk about this on YouTube? See, this is part of the problem when we can't even have that conversation. When it's 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, very impressionable, prepubescent, and you're putting them on life-altering drugs and doing life-altering things that you can't undo because there are some bullshit doctors out there who are telling them this can be undone. But how many detransitioning stories have we heard that are absolutely nightmares? And I feel so bad for those kids. And because it's on the parents, and the parents want to have their kids as an accessory and brag to others, or they're just under this delusion that, well, I'm just being a good parent by giving them what they want. No, being a good parent is not giving your kids what they want. With that logic, let them go do a bunch of fucking drugs then. So it is abuse. It is as bad as beating your kids. It's as bad as beating your kids, or worse. And like, they're both bad, Ellen. They're both horrifically bad that can do damage way beyond anything. So we're not going to dial that back. But if you say, like, it could be worse, arguments can be made. That's a nuanced argument, but I don't want either option because they're both evil. Inherently evil, traumatic. Think about all the kids who, hell, I'm one. So kids who were abused and how much that affects, it reprograms your brain. And not the best way. So when I was abused, I did not trust adults, like, ever. And that really affected how I went about life, how I looked at teachers or other adults and respect. And some people never heal from that, like, ever. How is doing stuff like that to your kid? And then I guess what makes it more insidious is when somebody is beating the shit out of you, you know where you stand. This person is horrible and angry, but you know where they stand. Still bad when somebody is transitioning their 12-year-old kid and they're like, "We love you, Tommy." That's evil, man. And that's a betrayal that will come back to haunt any parent. And I forgot who said this, but I think the reason, particularly with Hollywood parents, they are so militant with protect the dolls and all that shit is because they know they're doing something horrible and they can't face it. So they got to go the other way all in. It is fucking twisted. It is some sick shit. And it is prominent and prevalent in the entertainment industry. And that's why nobody should ever listen to a fucking thing these people have to say when they go out and morally grandize, when they have protect the dolls shirts on, which is protecting trans kids, which don't exist. It's a construct. But social media networks have made it impossible to even have this conversation because they've become a protected class somehow, but you're not really protecting anybody. You're making it worse. Yeah, way too many Hollywood kids are trans. And because it's a fad. But it's not like, it's bad enough when Hollywood kids go through the ringer already. They get eaten alive. It's bad enough when they do drugs, but at least you have a chance to come back from that. You have a chance to recover from that. A chance. All right. We're at 3 hours. It was nice chit-chatting with the chat. I don't get to do that often enough. So I'm going to take off and work on my office so I can do a office tour. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I wanted to do a live stream from like my phone, but usually like the connection sucks. So maybe I'll do a test. If not, then I'll just do a longer video. And we're going to slowly walk around and tell little stories of where everything came from and kind of explain the insanity that is this office and where the origins of it come from. And yeah, lots of action figures. Lots of action figures. I love today's news trending on Twitter says Star Trek Academy introduces first gay Klingon cadet amid viewer divide. Well, we all figured he was gay from Jump Street. So I don't know if this last episode actually introduced it. I think the series did, if that's what you're talking about. But I am lumped in there and good. Tim's all over it, which is great. Tim Pool. Oh, my thumbnail, fucking Perry. Here, you guys have seen the thumbnail, right? It's so good. We made a last minute change, but Perry is a fucking thumbnail genius. All right. So yeah, dropped a episode 7 review video today, and yes, they will all be part of a big supercut. We will be back tomorrow. Is Real BBC on? Is it on my channel? I think it's on my channel this week. I can never remember, but pretty sure. No, is it on my channel? Eric, what channel is Real BBC on tomorrow? Is that on Az's? Okay, I could never remember. It's been a week. It's on Az's channel tomorrow. So tune in to Az's channel tomorrow for Real BBC at 11 a.m. Central with me and Mahler, and we can all talk about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Captain Dementia. That's me. That's me. That is me. That's right. It was on my channel because I needed to do it an hour early because of my dental appointment. See, it all comes back eventually. No Steelbook for the Night of the Seven Kingdoms sucks. We don't know that yet. They just announced the regular 4K. They usually will offer one through some exclusive. So I wouldn't count that out yet. But they did announce the 4K Blu-rays June 15th. Can't wait. Now, I want a soundtrack on vinyl minus jazz music. But I thought the soundtrack, the score was great. Yes, there is a Steelbook on HMV. Yeah, there's always a Steelbook. They always do a Steelbook. But there's also a lot of good extras on it. So, yeah, I can't fucking wait. In the meantime, I'm going to watch it all again tonight. Can't wait. So, guys, thank you very much. Appreciate you all. Thanks for supporting the channel. And it was nice talking in the chat. I thought that was fun. They're not dolls, Eric, for fuck's sake. They're action figures. They're action figures. Yeah, God, fucking 4Ks are expensive. $42.99. That's British pounds. So that's like, what, almost $60 US. I love you guys too. So yeah, it was really nice talking to the chat. Let's do it again next week. So Real BBC tomorrow. Nooner, the Nooner will be back on Wednesday. Friday Night Tights, a Night of the Seven Kingdoms video will be in the works. That's the next thing I'm working on. And it's going to be absolutely for the love of the game. So let's see who's streaming real quick. I mean, I can't do a raid, but I could definitely shout out. Oh, Today Cobra is streaming. So go to Today Cobra. There you go. Go to Today Cobra. And I will see you guys next time. You're wonderful. You're the best. Have a good night.